Welcome to a new test and teardown video. Yeah, well, I've said this so many times that I maybe should rephrase this one. I think it's going to be a teardown video only and a short explain, because this one I really can't test. I don't have the stuff that this one is supposed to be connected to. However, I can talk a little bit about what it does and how it works. So this is an HP 8750A Storage Normalizer. So this is actually a digital sampling front end for network analyzers, spectrum analyzers, analog scopes and such from the good old days, because they didn't have any analog storage. So you can imagine working with network analyzers and spectrum analyzers. Sweeps can be quite slow, and it can be annoying that you can't see anything that is not, kept on the screen. You can't compare different inputs and all that. This one can do all that. So this is a two-channel analog sampler and playback device for CRT systems, or the analog interface for CRT, direct scan, as they were using in the old days. There are no input and outputs here on the front. Everything is on the back. Oi. And it's actually only this connector you need. So this will be your analog inputs and outputs for your screen. And so you can imagine you will have two analog signals going in and going out, and you also have some sweep and some start and stop pulses from your from your analyzer or scope or whatever you're using. But once the curve is stored inside this unit, you can play it back in super slow-mo for a recorder, so you can print it. That is so cool as well. And obviously everything here is an analog interface. We're sweeping everything, analog inputs and outputs and all that. So of course you need to be able to fine adjust everything in the analog sort of way. And this is done on a little analog interface board with some super high quality potmeters here at the end. So that is really great. This handle all the DC offsets for the sampling. The interface here is very nicely explained in some of the manuals that I was able to find. So yeah, you could actually connect this to a set of signal generators, and you could prove that this was storing stuff, and you could play it back on a scope with a lot of channels. But seriously, it's going to be a 2-day setup to generate all the signals in and out and connect everything right, and I don't know, it's not that interesting to show that this can record 2 channels and play them back and stuff. Simple power supply. This is a little bit funny. So they mounted them on this aluminium piece where the transformator is mounted to save the rear side from extra additional holes. So that is neat. Oh yeah, I want to show the analog side first. So this is the top board, and this is the analog recording and playback board. So what you'll see here is actually quite a lot of old tech analog and digital parts. Look at that one. See, that's a DAC, right? Oh yeah, and over here I found that will be the 2 DACs for the playback. So that is a 8-bit DACs, 2 of those. Yeah. Let me see if I can get everything here in focus. Really nice analog front end. Not a lot to say about that. Of course, you need some some analog, some op amps and stuff like that. I wonder if this has something to do with sample rate. We got some trimmers for offsets and analog stuff. Alright, so this is connected to the motherboard and everything is going back to the bottom board. Let me show you guys the bottom board. And this is the digital board. And of course you see memory chips. You can also see the way they're interconnected. And then there's another row of memory chips. So it's quite funny. You see we got 6 of them here, and we also got 6 of them here. So that's probably the 2 channels, right? And obviously tons of counters and selectors and a little bit of this and that, you know. Probably a programmable chip. That will be some of the signals for the front panel, and again some more signals for the front panel. The front panel is the very, very classic HP kind of style. You also got some ICs. We actually got quite a lot of ICs here. So what are we doing here? This is for controlling all the switches and what? LEDs and stuff. Why is it so complicated? Because, oh, it fell out. It wasn't even mounted. Okay, let's have a look. So somebody forgot to put in the screws here on the top and on the bottom for the entire front panel. Ooh, I didn't expect it to be that nice. Oops, let's flip it. But look at that. Some high quality trimmers in here. And quite a lot of ICs. Got lots of MMI parts as well. And what is that? Op amp and stuff. I mean, this entire front panel is just... And this looks like it's a socket. I gotta see if that is a socket. Yeah. So LEDs are in socket. How sexy is that? I mean, really? Let's see if we can over-engineer the front panel and make it expensive. Yeah, I think this is amazing. I did not expect that. I don't know. I want to take out this rear board and let's have a nicer look at that. They call this an interface card, but here it's just spectrum analyzer. So you can plug in different interface cards depending of if it's a spectrum analyzer, the network analyzer, the scope, or whatever it is. And in this particular mode, it's just doing the different offsets and gain. So that is how it works. Beautiful layout, like super quality, everything here. But this is just HP all over. See the made in USA? That's funny. I've been searching a little bit around on the different ICs in this unit, and I keep seeing 1980. Why wouldn't it go in focus? See? So this is 8011, this one, and it just goes on this, see here, 80, some 79, 79. So that means the youngest will be when this unit was manufactured. So I believe that is in 1980. Probably this design is much older, because in the 80s we started to see digital scopes and digital spectrum analyzers, network analyzers, and all that stuff started to be digital. But of course it was very, very expensive. So probably this unit has had a lot of good things to offer for quite some years. Oh yeah, and this is a Canon quite special connector. I'm not sure you'll be able to find a mating connector for that one. But again, the pinout here is available on the internet, so it is possible to hack in on the wires here or put in another connector really. So it is possible to play with this one. There's only one last thing I can do with this, and that is to try and power it up. 15 watts. We got some LEDs, and it is in spectrum analyzer mode. I mean, it is doing exactly what I expected to do, right? So far so good. No smoke and no kaboom, no sparks. So it's going to go back in this shed, I guess.